Okay, so why don't you introduce yourselves?
Hello. Thank you so much, President of the Board, and can you guys hear me? President of the Board and members of the Board, we're really pleased to present this to you today. My name is Salam Mekonnen. I'm the Director of Programs at New Earth, and I've been working with the middle school, high school, and the district to, on this bigger task that we have been in front of us, and we'll go deeper into it. And I'll introduce my colleague.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Veronica Ortiz. I'm the lead care manager with New Earth, and I work with the care management team on site at Culver City Middle School and Culver City High School.
Good evening, board members. My name is Stephanie Labille. I'm the Director of Operations.
So I'll just start with a little bit of history about who we are. So New Earth has been, my name is Yana Grammer. I'm the co-founder and executive vice president of New Earth. We are a local nonprofit based here in Culver City, and we were founded in 2004. We have been working with the most vulnerable young people throughout LA County, young people that have been in the justice system, young people that are in the foster care system, young people who are at risk or in the homeless system, and young people that are at risk for entering these systems. So for the past 8 years, we've been based in Culver City, and we have a center in Culver City, which is a wraparound youth resource center. At the center, we provide a high school diploma program, wraparound case management and care management services, therapy, workforce development programs, transportation, arts programs, and basically everything we can to provide opportunity and enrichment to young people. And we were tapped recently by Superintendent Tran and the school district to help kind of provide supportive services and wraparound services and mental health services to the young people and the most vulnerable young people at both the middle school and the high school. So that's a little bit about who we are. We have a wonderful presentation that we wanted to go through, which is not coming up. Nope, it is coming up. There it is. Ah, yay. Okay. Next slide, please. All right. Next slide, please. So that's our mission statement. We provide mentor-based arts, educational, vocational programs, and wraparound services that empower at-promise youth ages 13 to 25 and their families. We support youth to reimagine their lives, move towards positive life choices, and discover their genius as future leaders of tomorrow. We are causing a cultural shift. Next slide, please. Next slide. So one of our sort of signature philosophies is the young people we work with. We don't take a cookie cutter approach. We really work with each individual young person and really treat each young person as a whole person. We view our young people as valuable and worthwhile. And so some of the key markers that we look at, and these are key markers in our 20 years of working with young people, this is what we've determined as key markers for success. So formally off probation, if a young person is on probation, we really want to ensure that they're out of the system. Regularly housed. As many of you know, housing is a huge crisis in LA and in Culver City as of late. So really looking to make sure that our young people have consistent and regular housing. Educationally advanced. Not that they're necessarily college bound, not all of them will be, but that they're moving forward in their educational process, that they're increasing credits, that they're moving towards education. Employable. So we do workforce development programs, we do on-the-job training, and we really look for ways to get our young people not just working, not just having a job, but learning how to keep a job and how to move forward in the employment cycle. And emotional stability, really looking at how do we maintain and elevate their emotional stability with various key markers. So that's a little bit about who we are and what we do. Next slide, please. Okay, so I'd love to bring up Veronica to talk a little bit about our clinical care management program and what we do on site at the Culver City High School and Middle School. So we work with, we are stationed, co-located on site at the high school, middle school 5 days a week, and we have an amazing care management team. So Veronica, come on up and let's talk about what we do there.
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm the lead care manager for New Earth. Our care management team has been consistently working with 86 students on campus Monday through Friday. Just this week, that has increased to 130 students connected to New Earth services. And care management provides safe spaces for the students to express themselves, their needs, and most importantly, to be seen and heard with whatever that they have going on. Our care management team provides one-on-one individualized care management for each student, talk therapy, tailored programming that removes barriers for students and identifies underlying risk factors, resulting in students' truancy, behavioral issues, and chronic absenteeism. As little as 2 months from receiving services, the care management team has been able to provide support for students in their overall social and emotional development with a 48% increase in social awareness and responsible decision making. And the students are becoming more and more open with
Zoom won't be able to hear.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Thank you. So we're supporting students with their overall social emotional development, the 48% increase in social awareness and responsible decision making, just to name two. So students are becoming more open with our staff in relation to their stressors in and out of school, their unhealthy relationships with friends and family, as well as trauma, experiences with trauma that they've held in for a long time that they're starting to open up and express. And it's really just helping them meet those goals on a daily. And and I quote, students are saying things like, I want my goals to help me become happier. I want to be a better student. I know I can do it. Thank you for listening. And so that's what the care management team has been focusing on with each students. Oh, and I would like to introduce our Director of Programs, Ms. Salam McConan.
Thank you. And I'll try to speak into the mic. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of our enrichment programming, both at the middle school and the high school. We've been providing our really anchor program, which is called Flow. It's our poetry program. It is the fluent love of words, and it's really something that New Earth is known for because we bring culturally relevant programming to the kids, and they love hip hop, they love music, and we bring all that into the classroom with them, and they're able to find ways to newly express themselves in that class. We also have a class called Stage of Life, which is all about finding really who you want to become. And our instructors there are amazing. They've been building really deep rapport with the young people. And this is a complete voluntary class, and we get a lot of students to show up for that. In addition to that, we have also a newer class that started in the middle school at the end of last year, which is called Art and Chill, which is an approach to mindfulness by allowing young people to really explore crafts and visual arts for self-expression, but it's really to enhance the depth of conversation that we can have with them. Because middle schoolers don't do really talk therapy in that same way. But when you give them some beats and some things to do, they really enjoy it and they start opening up. They start talking about what's going on for them. And that's the biggest part. I think what we at New Earth really offer is that our instructors have the skill set to build rapport with the young people. And oftentimes they're not being really asked what they want. And we pride ourselves on building enrichment programming specifically tailored to them. We ask them first, what do you want to see in your classroom? And then we customize that to them. We also have been granted some amazing new space at the School and Family Support Service Center through Director Montez, and we're very grateful for that. And we're kind of making it a teen space and really allowing it to be a safe space for the young people in the way it even feels, right? Fluorescent lights and things. All classroom environments don't often feel safe for them. They're triggering because they already had certain experiences there. So really transforming the space to let them know that there's inclusion here, that they're welcome here, that we're there for them, and that we're really meeting them where they are rather than imposing our ideas on their learning. And it's been going really, really wonderful. We've had some of the young people self-refer themselves and showed up at our care management office on the high school and said, we want to be involved here too, although they weren't referred by the admins or anything. So we really feel like the students are finally understanding who New Earth is. We've been working collaboratively with the team on the ground, really the high school and the middle school, to ensure that we are a collective and that we take everybody's concerns to heart, and that we really offer a sense of belonging, not just for the young people, but also for the staff that has been working tirelessly on the front lines there. So with that, next slide. I want to, what's the next slide? That's me too, right? Next slide, please. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the alternate graduation requirement that has now been reduced to the 120 to 130 credits. New Earth will begin to work with all those 30 students that are on the path to graduation to offer them additional counseling, therapy, workforce development, paid work experiences in high growth career pathways, as well as just all of our enrichment and leadership programming that we already have there on the ground. We also will extend that wraparound services and life coaching to them. In addition, they'll be supported not just up to graduation, but post-graduation, when it matters the most, when they're oftentimes are transitioning into the life that they see for themselves. How will they achieve that? And New Earth, because we do have a Arts and Leadership Center right here in Culver City, will be able to maintain that support outside of, graduation. Really believe in like aftercare, that this goes on as long as till we deem that young person fully free, which is our model of being free from all those system involved, or even any barriers that may be keeping them there. So we really understand that our individualized support to help them get jobs and get them understanding about what it looks like when you go to college, when you want to start your own business, and really work with them to see what they want and guide them step by step to that goal that they have. And with that, I'm going to ask my colleague to come up for the next slide. Thank you.
Hello again. So New Earth is working with 50 youth in the iAcademy. So these are the students who have barriers that have them complete school online and not on campus. And so we provide remote wraparound services and as needed resources, such as housing, the other services that we mentioned before, like workforce development, vocational pathways, and leadership programming and enrichment to just continue to empower the students in the iAcademy, as well as working with their families to make sure that they're supported all around. So a whole child approach. Next, we're going to introduce Stephanie LaBille. She's our Director of Operations.
Next slide, please.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. All right. One more thing before Stephanie. So recently we have been asked by Dr. Smith to be part of the Violence Prevention Task Force. So there were 34 young people that were part of a fight, and basically through this task force, we will be providing all of our services and our supportive care to really identify, prevent, reduce, and eliminate fights. So as a member of the task force, we'll also be continuing to provide our counseling and therapy assessments, bringing that trauma-informed support. You know, with trauma-informed care, we're not asking what's wrong with you. We're asking what happened to you. So we're really digging in and really understanding what is at the heart, at the root of what's happening with our kiddos and why these fights are happening. So we're taking a preventative approach and individualized care, offering our enrichment and leadership programming, our holistic trauma-informed approach to student discipline, and really using restorative justice circles as a restorative way to work with our young people instead of punishment. We're also making our Beyond Boundaries nature expeditions available to our students as well. And that's a healing retreat that we do on a yearly basis. And that really prevents and helps a lot with violence prevention. So that's the task force. And now I will introduce Stephanie LaBille to talk about our attendance counselor initiative. Next slide, please.
Good evening again. New Earth will be hiring a dedicated attendance counselor who will be on site at Culver City High School and Culver City Middle School for students identified at risk or in danger of being at risk for suspension and or expulsion. To date, 68% of the referrals we've received are due to insufficient grades and poor attendance. And as you've already heard the numbers spoken earlier, there are 385 high school students with chronic absence and 182 students in middle school with chronic absences. The attendance counselor will be a liaison and an advocate at meetings for students, families, and in partnership with the district and New Earth. The counselor will be working closely with New Earth and our care management team to identify the key barriers that are leading to chronic absenteeism. Thank you.
Thank you. And lastly, but not leastly, Ms. Salam will talk about our professional development and how we are causing a cultural shift at Culver City.
Right, big words.
Be a liaison and an advocate at meetings for students, families, and in partnership with the district and New Earth. The counselor will be working closely with New Earth and our care management team to identify the key barriers that are leading to chronic absenteeism. Thank you.
Thank you. And lastly, but not leastly, Ms. Salam will talk about our professional development and how we are causing a cultural shift at Culver City.
Right, big words. So with our professional development, we started also last year really immersing ourselves with the staff there. There's certificated and classified staff at the Culver City High School, and this year even more so middle school. We've been offering professional development because we understand that this is really a multi-fold approach that needs to happen. I don't think culture gets shifted without everybody in it in the community also shifting with you. And to shift one's mindset and approach to teaching, learning, or being with the young people is quite the task. With that said, I'm only prefacing that there's a lot of work ahead to be still done, but we are able to introduce most of the staff to really what trauma-informed care is and what that lens is that Jana already mentioned, of really looking behind the reasons of why the young people are possibly acting out or having issues. We've offered trainings in trauma-informed care, implicit bias. We have trained teachers on reflection time, what used to be called detention. We have changed that name and really want the young people to reflect internally of why they're even there. And we've been finding really profound reasons there for them. And they end up really writing and looking at like, well, why am I here? And who sent me here? And can I change that? Would I change that if I had a chance? It's been really powerful, as well as restorative justice training to foster positive classroom and school culture. We've had some courageous conversations about diversity, and we're really looking forward to move the needle towards a very inclusive environment where everybody feels like they can be a part of and they belong and they see themselves not just in each other, but really feel that they get to be a part of that community that they're creating and building. The staff has been very responsive in having us there and also allowing us to continue sharing more trainings with them. And we're looking forward to really dig deeper into what the DEI framework for the district looks like and what that looks like to really dismantle archaic systems that no longer serve us, that no longer serve our young people. And with that, I'll give it to you.
Thank you, Salam. Last slide, please. So I just want to have a very special thank you to, first of all, Dr. Kent for thinking of New Earth to be part of this amazing initiative, and Mr. Tran for inviting us to do this. And of course, Dr. Smith, who's tirelessly working hand in hand with myself and my team to really, really make a massive impact with our young people. And I think we've scratched the tip of the iceberg, and we've done a lot of work in the last few months, as you guys can hear, and there's so much more to go. And there's so many more kids to work with, and we are ready and up for the job. So thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Yeah, we can give a bit of a plug. Thank you for caring for our children. I would like to propose something that we don't do 2 rounds of board comment for information items, given how late we're running. So we're going to do 1 round and public comment. So if we can get how many public comment do we have in person for this item? None. If anybody on Zoom would like to provide public comment, please raise your hand. In the meantime, I will start with Board Member Kim.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. It was really, I don't know why, perhaps because it's young in the year and it's young in this expansion of our relationship with you. But I heard so much more than I actually expected to hear in terms of the on the ground progress that you're making and some of the report outs that you already have and the qualitative, and you presented a little bit of quantitative data as well. I first and foremost want to remark that I'm really pleased to hear you're working with the 30 students who we specifically reduced our graduation requirements on behalf of. And I want to say that this body did discuss acknowledging our role in not supporting them in the way that they needed to be supported to meet our typical graduation requirements, and that some of us were really eager to figure out how to, if at all, think about any sort of repair for something that we really do have to own up to. And so you mentioned that you're asking them what they want. You mentioned you're asking all the students that you're interfacing with what they want out of their future and themselves and where they see, their path. And I would really like to request that we hear back about those 30 in particular, because I'm going to want to invite the board to consider how we can financially support some aspect of that next chapter after they graduate, because I feel really strongly that it's the least that we could do. So we've had some very preliminary conversations about what they already get free community college. So I realize that that is not necessary at this time, but there are other ways that that they can pursue paths that I would really like us to be responsible for. So I'd love to hear back. I'd love to know when the nature expedition is occurring.
It's in June.
Oh my gosh. It's
So right after school's done.
I'm
every year.
so excited about that. I am a big experiential education fan, and did it myself in high school. It totally transformed my silly little 16-year-old self. But I also participated. We had an alternative high school here for a time that was supporting students just like the 30 that you're supporting now. And they did a ropes course kind of thing that is similar. It's experiential education. Perhaps there's something like that on the expedition that you take. And I did it with these students just a few years ago. It's the one on the hill here at the Baldwin Hill, that ropes course. It's incredible to be with the students when they're challenging themselves physically that way, and to see the kind of rapport and relationship building that comes of that, and also, of course, their self exploration and confidence. So I'm really personally very excited about that. And where did you say that office space was? A second space off the high school campus? I didn't quite catch it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's with the Family Service Center,
Oh, in-
iAcademy area, room 2.
Oh, in the iAcademy. Okay, got it. That's good to know. And then finally, 2 more questions. You said 48% of students are reporting more social openness. Can you just say more about what that means? How do you know that? How did you determine that?
We work with them weekly. So care management checks in with students, depending on the risk level. Most of them are high risk, so we check in weekly. And so a lot of them are being more outspoken regarding, they're aware of why they're having behavioral issues. They're more aware of what they need to do and how they want to be better. And then that goes into their responsible decision making regarding what the next steps are and who they need to talk to. So they're being more open with the admin team. They're collaborating more with their counselors when they weren't before. And so that's where we pulled that data from.
You have like a little metric that you use?
Yes, we do have one. I didn't bring it with me, but we do a scale. So we could see the improvement weekly, and each care manager is doing that with each client. Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. And then when does the Stage of Life class take place?
It's on Wednesdays during the CP Flex.
Okay, great.
At the high school. And
Awesome. Those are my questions. Thank you so much. It was really moving to hear from you.
thank you.
Board Member Guerrero?
Yeah, just thank you very much for the presentation. I mean, it seems like an awful lot of services that students need and are benefiting students in particular. I'm pleased to see the work you're able to do around attendance and going for those root causes. It's certainly not just that students are staying home or ditching or something like that. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why they're not able to come in, whether it's family or work or mental health or physical, medical health or things like that. And so being able to approach absenteeism and chronic absenteeism from a whole child wraparound perspective, I think is going to be very helpful. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we know and we feel that attendance is always a symptom of a bigger issue. And we're really grateful that New Earth gets to be part of this process, because I think that having that symbiosis with our care management team will really impact the students who are dealing with these challenges effectively.
Board Member Azador.
Yeah, I'm going to join my colleagues in just giving a lot of gratitude for that wonderful presentation. I just have a few questions, if you could expand on them. I was seeing a lot of stuff about workforce development and high growth career pathways and vocational and these types of things. I'm wondering if you can expand on what that looks like, what kind of jobs you were looking into and that kind of stuff.
Sure. So at New Earth, we focus a lot on the tech industry. You know, we're in Silicon Beach. We're so close to Silicon Beach. So a lot of our workforce pathways have to do with tech. We are doing a Web3. I don't know if you guys know what Web3 is, but that's a whole new tech platform. So we're training our young people on Web3. We're doing content creation. We're doing some more traditional tech jobs like graphic design and web development and coding and IT management. Anything else you want to jump in on?
Yeah.
Salam?
Just want to share. So basically, we have already a workforce development team on the ground in our center, and we have training programs that we run that we allow the young people to access, but not just access, they get paid while they're being trained. So the big part is like oftentimes, you know, you can't do a training if you got to go get a job to support the family. So what does it take? So we remove those barriers and say, you know what, let's help you with transportation. Let's help you get you to the center. Let's get you a job that really provides living wages, right? Because hooking you up with a job at Marshall's is not long term. It only helps you for a little moment. So we've decided to really go deep into this tech sector because oftentimes discrimination is at a lower rate. Entry to those high paid tech jobs do not need necessarily college for that. And for some of the young people, that is really attractive. And we want to continue giving them attractive choices that they really want to take. So we have IT support, as she shared, and all kinds of like tech programming that goes on.
Thank you so much. I'm asking not just because it's relevant today, but just at all, I'm wondering if you all, because I like that we're talking about longevity, we're talking about good paying jobs. I know that we have a lot of union members here today, a lot of which have apprenticeship programs at their given sites. I'm wondering if there was thought at all to ever collaborating with them and what that would look like.
We are always open for collaboration. We're always open to provide, you know, we're all about opportunity for our kiddos. So, you know, the more partnerships that we can build, the greater it is. So yes, we're definitely open.
Great. Thank you. Next question is about post-grad support. If you could just expand on what that looks like, how long that support is after graduation.
Sure. So we have a motto, and it's once a New Earth member, always a New Earth member. So as we work with our young people at the school district, we consider them New Earth members because they've touched our programs and our processes. So we would be open to have them come to the center and receive postgraduate support for really as long as needed. And again, going back to the whole person individualized care model that we have, it's not a cookie cutter approach. You know, one young person can come right through, you know, get some training, get a job and start moving forward in their life. Another person might have more barriers. So it's really about each individual.
Thank you so much. And my last question is about the slide about violence prevention. We're talking about intervention after fights. My concern is I wonder if we're intervening too late. We're intervening after violence is occurring. So I'm wondering if there's anything that we can do district-wide to prevent things from happening just in general.
Well, I have to say, I think we're doing it. I think just by virtue of having New Earth on site and having us be able to work with our young people, we're really understanding what's going on with them. So the goal is the more young people we touch, the more we'll understand, and we'll be able to really get to them before it even gets to the fight. I think right now it's a preventative, it's an intervention model, and it's an after the fact model. But as long as, you know, we're there, and as long as we're there longer term, we'll be able to work with more young people and get more data.
Okay, thank you so much.
Can I just clarify something? I just wanted to say the 34 is the superintendent's initiative of identify, reduce, and eliminate fights. So we've asked them to come in and partner with us, and so that's that particular group that we're focusing on to find out and identify why. Meeting with the high school team, it was interesting. Most of the students were one-offs. We're still going through the data, and very few were repeat fighters. So we're digging deep because that was just a symptom. I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you want to say something?
Just in addition to that, again, back to their development with social emotional development, a lot of the kids are improving with regulating their emotions. And so they're talking more to us. They're showing up to our room. We're in room 3 at the high school. And so they're already showing improvement in making better decisions. And that will prevent them in the future to maybe participating and being a follower. And so I just wanted to add that.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Board President.
Board Member Loretto.
Before I start, I just want to also say that our student board rep is still on. So in case right after I am done, if you want to take her, or after you. So thank you so much for this. This makes me feel much more positive about the direction that our culture is taking. Some questions for me are just super simple. I think you might have answered some of it because some of your programming, you said it was between 8 and 4:30, but are you saying that like it's usually during CP Flex and maybe pause or something like that? Or like, is that the case?
Yeah. So we have programming during CP Flex, and we'll have some for pause. Then in addition, we have the after school programming. So flow actually happens after school at the middle school and high school. And then Stage of Life is the one class that's kind of like during the day. But most of our classes are after school, actually.
Yeah, and it really makes me feel good that some of the things that you are that you're calling out are the regulation of their emotions and just feeling more belonging. Because what I don't want to happen is that, like, if we are identifying students for interventions or for New Earth, and it's like, oh no, it's like that's what they are, like that's something that they don't want, and it's like something that like they're hesitant or resistant to. And it sounds like there's an overall positive reaction because you're providing them with options that they possibly didn't have before, and it's being better received. Because so many problems that we've been hearing in the past are there was something that happened maybe off campus or on social media or something like that, but it's their behavior on campus that is affecting their ability to learn and their ability to feel like this is their home. And so I thank you for the direction that we're going in, and I so look forward to hearing more about how this has made change in terms of the data. I think we're going to see this in our data. We are going to see this in our overall positive culture here, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I would like to open it up to our student board members. If anyone would like to comment on the presentation, please unmute yourself. And also at the same time, can we check to see if there's any Zoom public comment? Okay. See no comments from our students. I would like to say that I sent in my questions already. So you can just reply whenever it is the right time to reply. I echo the sentiments that I am eternally grateful that this partnership started last semester, and that with the new knowledge of our individualized programming that we need to start up, that we already have boots on the ground working on how to help the unhoused, for example. And I think that I'm really grateful. And I want to say that I do hold some responsibility for the 30 students that we have lowered the graduation credits. And I want to say my life has been has made a big difference when I have come to a challenge or someone in the education system posed a challenge for me. And that's when I was able to like go beyond the measures that I knew, the models that I knew, the mirrors that were in my home. And I was able to see through those windows and open the doors to walk through and have a completely different life than I was having as a child. And so I'm grateful that these opportunities are coming, and I'm hoping that you will also invite us to come and see your programming. And oftentimes we do not. Oftentimes our teachers are given all of these state requirements, the testing, the curriculum, and right? The list goes on and on and on. And I'm grateful that this is something that we don't have to now ask our teachers to do, and that they can focus on the human right for students to learn and thrive. And you all can focus on the human right to have a home, on the human right to, be able to have health, right? Mental health. And so thank you so much. And so I really hope that in the next semester, by the end of the semester, we can hear about the 30 students. Because that is really important to, and I'm going to echo what Dr. Ken said. Yes.
If I could have a few moments to reflect and appreciate the encouraging word from the Board of Education. But I really wanted to say thank you to Drs. Jennifer Smith and the connection we'd made, and obviously to an immense talent group from New Earth to come over. I still remember having our very first conversation, and I had an outcome in mind, and I thought, if I may be permitted to share tonight, I would like our schools to become a safe place, mentally safe place for any topics at any time, anywhere that can be shared by students with trusting adults. It's not about tutoring. Obviously, if that's needed, we do tutoring. It's not about reflective circles. It's a safe place within the mind. And I think, if I may say so, this is as close to what I've seen as a great start. And I wish that we will bring back, I will commit that we will bring back additional information, the outcome that would align to our values. And we will find ways to keep moving this into the place where by 2 to 3 years from now, up to 10% of our student population will receive this kind of support so that school become a safe place for them to become a trusting adult and talk about anything. And my appreciation to the team from New York and for your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tran. I also want to give a special thank you to Director Montes, who's been incredible and really kind of taking us over the finish line here. I think we're really at a really great place. And yes, duly noted about our 30 kiddos. We will report back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Good
you,
night.
board members. Thank you, New Earth. And we will see you soon.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Okay, so we're moving on to 10.3.